Ballistic Beats and Joseline Hernandez's relationship was a show unto itself in the world of reality TV, where passion and drama can make it difficult to distinguish between what is real and what is contrived. Known for their turbulent romance, the couple was frequently in the news because of their erratic behavior and erratic personalities.
Speak of the devil.
Man, shut down. Come on, party over. What you mean why I'm mad? Get inside, man. Over. Party over, man. Nut ass, man. Come on, man. Party over, man.
Joseline's supportive companion has always been Ballistic Beats, a producer and reality TV sensation in his own right, and a former love and hip-hop Atlanta star. Although their relationship was far from ideal, with heated arguments occurring on social media and on television, fans weren't ready for the dramatic event that would ultimately mark the end of their engagement, at least for the time being. It started on a calm Miami afternoon, but their inner lives were much more dramatic. Ballistic was in the studio working on his music, and Joseline had just returned from a promotional event. Even while everything appeared to be peaceful, tensions were starting to rise beneath the surface. Known for having a fiery temper, Joseline had been growing more and more irritated with their relationship. There were accusations of adultery, problems with trust, and a lack of communication, all of which frequently meant that relationships in the public eye would fail. The vulnerability that had previously held them together started to crumble as the disagreement continued, trust issues resurfaced, and old wounds were reopened. The turning point came when Joseline confronted Ballistic about what she had heard, regardless of whether it was true at the time. With a characteristically Joseline outburst of anger, she addressed him with accusations and requests for clarification.
Man, come on, man. What you talking about? Let's go. What's wrong with you, man? Come here. Yo, stop. Yo, you think this a game, man? I'm not playing with her, man. Stupid ass, dumb ass.
The high point of their fight was when Joseline made the startling decision to leave my house in a fit of wrath. She shrieked, "Go ballistic," and the words lingered in the air, her voice cold and uncompromising.
What's wrong with you feeding somebody fruit, and then you telling the young boy, "Oh, don't tell nobody about what we did today, man." All this, man. Man.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you a nut, man. You not an example. You a nut.
What's
You
wrong?
a nut ass broad. That's what the you are.
Are you kidding
Man,
me?
you disrespect me. I told you, treat me like a king.
What?
You don't disrespect me, man.
Fervent, Ballistic was taken aback, visibly agitated, and uncertain of how to react. He had stood by her side no matter what, but now he saw that the relationship had fallen apart entirely. Ballistic tried to reason with her and pleaded for a calm conversation, but Joseline would not listen. The fierce reality TV star had never veered off course, especially when it came to. The world watched in disbelief as Ballistic, obviously shocked by the abrupt change in circumstances, packed up his belongings and left. This specific moment played out like a scene from one of the many reality shows they had appeared on together. Protecting her peace, "You need to go," she said, her voice piercing the tension like a blade. Then, after they had lived together for several months, she escorted him out of the house. Following the incident, fan reactions flooded social media, with some expressing amazement at Joseline's choice. Sometimes you just have to choose peace, even when people applaud her and encourage her for standing up for herself. Later, Joseline shared her words on Instagram, reminding her followers that personal limits and self-respect must come first, even if it means ending a relationship that once seemed like a beneficial fit. Unbreakable Ballistic expressed his suffering on social media with a mysterious remark that left fans wondering whether there was more to the story. Their romance had reached its zenith, and it was unclear if they would reunite. In the weeks that followed, Joseline and Ballistic remained apart, but the whispers continued to reunite. Or did their turbulent and widely publicized affair come to an end? In a world where relationships are frequently tested in the most obvious ways, it was evident to those who followed the story that Joseline Hernandez, the once invincible Puerto Rican princess, had shown the world that she was prepared to defend herself at all costs, regardless of whether it was the right choice. Was a strong statement that ultimately compelled Ballistic Beats to reconstruct his life, along with his feelings of trust and affection. Meanwhile, Joseline, the queen of her own story, remained the center of attention, keeping her fans curious about what would happen next in her complicated love life. However, for the time being, their tale had reached a watershed, and Joseline was refusing to back down, ready to confront whatever. The future was held with or without him in the world of reality TV, where passion and drama frequently make it difficult to distinguish between what is real and what is contrived. Nothing could have prepared spectators for the explosion that would finally mark the end of Ballistic Beats and Joseline Hernandez's feud, at least momentarily, even though their relationship was a spectacle in and of itself. The couple was well known for their turbulent relationship, which frequently made headlines due to their erratic conduct and volatile personalities. Rhythms in Biology Joseline, a former love and hip-hop Atlanta star who identifies as a Puerto Rican princess, has always been accompanied by a producer and reality TV star. Although there were heated arguments between them on TV and social media, their relationship was far from ideal. However, what really happened behind closed doors, their private lives were even more intense. It all started one calm Miami afternoon when Ballistic was in the studio recording his songs and Joel had just returned from a promotional event. Although everything seemed to be going smoothly, tensions were rising and Joel, who has a notoriously short fuse, was growing more and more annoyed with their relationship. Rumors circulated around. The tipping point came when Joseline confronted Ballistic about what she had heard. Regardless of whether it was true at the time, she attacked him with accusations and sought clarification as the argument grew more heated, expressing her unrepentant feelings in typical Joseline fashion. Publicly visible relationships frequently fall apart as a result of a mix of poor communication, trust issues, and infidelity. As old wounds and trust difficulties emerged, the vulnerability that had previously kept them together started to disintegrate. Their argument came to a head when Joseline decided to leave my house in a rage. Her voice was cold and unyielding, and the words hung in the air with force. Ballistic was taken aback, visibly offended, and uncertain of how to react. Despite the Foundation Ballistic's efforts to reason with her and promote a calm discussion, he now learned that Joseline remained inflexible, even though he had stood by her through thick and thin. The fierce reality TV star had never faltered, especially when it came to keeping her peace. Slicing through the tension like a dagger, she said, "You need to go," and escorted him out of the home where they had shared a home for months. She experienced both hurt and frustration simultaneously. And treachery, it was a scene from one of the many reality shows they had appeared on, but it was unscripted. Social media was flooded with fans' reactions to the incident, and many of them expressed amazement at Joseline's choice. The world watched in disbelief as Ballistic, obviously shocked by the abrupt change in circumstances, packed up his belongings and left. Nonetheless, several encouraged her and commended her for standing. Sometimes you just have to make the decision to remain composed on your own. Later, Joseline shared her thoughts on Instagram, telling her followers that even if it meant ending a relationship that had appeared unbreakable, self-respect and personal limits had to come first.